and welcome back, guys, to the Spacey Tropics Review channel, where we try to review just a little bit of everything. And judging by the title, you can see I have the Bose portable home speaker. Well, hang on a second. Okay, that's better. So the Bose portable home speaker. I'm gonna go over some of the specs. I'm gonna go over the sound test and what my overall verdicts are for the Bose portable home speaker so that you can make a proper purchase decision. Without further ado, let's get into this review. Now, like my previous video on the JBL Flip 5, I'm going to do things a little bit different. For those who want the sound test, it's going to be right now. I'm going to do the sound test right now here first. Just a quick disclaimer, the songs are made personally by me on GarageBand, as you'll see on the iPad when I put it to play. Or it's also made on my iMac. Either way, it's on GarageBand. I do this to avoid any copyright issues. So, without further ado, let's get into the sound test with the Bose portable home speaker. Alright, so we're going to go over the sound test, and I'm going to start off at 50% volume. Like I said, these tracks are made by me. You could see right there. These tracks are made by me. I'm not no audio engineer. I'm not no audiophile. I'm not any of that stuff. Like I said, I just make these tracks to avoid copyright. So without further ado, I'm going to start at 50% volume. Let's do this. Now I'll raise it up to 80. Alright, that was the first track. Let's go to track number 2. Okay, yeah, we know we're using Bluetooth here. And again, raise this up to about 50%. And let's give it a shot. Oh, alrighty. That was the second track. Let's get back to the review. So, the design. I love this thing. I can't say enough about it. The sleekness, the overall well-builtness of the speaker just speaks volumes. It's a Bose product, you expect that, right? From the nice aluminum in the bottom, this perforated aluminum for the speaker grill, to the top here, this polycarbonate plastic. Really strong, really nice, all the way up to the top with this nice soft touch material here for the buttons, which, by the way, are very tactile, very clicky. They feel fantastic. And you can see some perforations around here. This is for the microphone array that this speaker has, because it's a smart speaker. So if you're purchasing this speaker, you're purchasing it obviously to be a smart speaker, but I'll go into that in a bit. Also to note, it has this wonderful, nice, strong, and thick rope just to hold it and take it with you wherever you gotta go. It's overall a nice package. Even though this thing is very well built, I still would handle it with some caution, take care of it, because it is a $400 speaker, right? A near $400 speaker. And you don't want to be bashing this around in your bag or something, taking it to, let's say, for example, Manhattan or whatever your city may be, and just bashing it around. I believe this will dent easy and this will scratch easy. The most I take it is probably a back patio, or maybe even possible just a friend or a relative's house. That's about it. Something to note, this does come in two colors, a Lux Silver, the gray one, or this black one here called Triple Black. I went with this one because it's nice, it's sleek, I love it. Beautiful color. Overall, I could say that this speaker is pretty well built, but I do have some minor issues. Like I said, I will go into it when I get to the cons. For now, let's dive into the specs. So, specs on this thing. It's about almost 8 inches tall and 4 inches at the base, so it's a pretty decent sized speaker. Has some heft to it too. A nice heft to it. The kind of heft that you would associate with a near $400 speaker, of course, obviously. You pay a lot of money, you expect premium, right? Something also to note, flanking the rear of this is USB-C. USB Type-C for charging. That is also a con. It's going to become a nice little trend in this video that there are a lot of cons about this speaker. But like I said, well, we'll get into that soon. But there is Type-C in the back of this bad boy, and it takes about 4 hours to charge from a dead battery. Not too quick, but not too long either. However, as you can see, like, it's only Type-C. There is no aux port, so there will be no past the aux sessions with this one. Sorry, guys. We only get Bluetooth and AirPlay 2. But before we get into that, this speaker is rated IPX4 splash resistant. Do not submerge this. This is not meant to be submerged. It can take a few splashes. It can take a couple of little raindrops here and there. Hence why I say don't really take it out to the city or something like that. The most you can do is your back patio, or just possibly, like I said, a friend or relative's house. You don't want to get this wet. Battery life on this speaker is rated for 12 hours. Now, that battery life may vary due to how loud you play your music. So at 50 to 60% volume, you're looking at about 9, maybe 10 hours of battery life coming from this, which, by the way, 50 to 60% volume is pretty decently loud and would fill a small room very nicely. Push the volume a little bit more, however, from anywhere from 70 to maybe 85%, let's say, you're going to look at a lower battery life area of around maybe 7 to 8 hours. And again, remember, from a dead battery to full takes about 4 hours, right? However, if you don't want to worry about battery life for the speaker, there is also a sold separate $30 wireless charging base that you can place this onto, hence why there's some coils in the bottom of this, that you could place it onto, and it will be continuously charging all the time if you're keeping the speaker pretty stationary. If you're not taking it anywhere, if you're not doing anything, you don't have to worry about battery life once you buy that wireless charging base. Now, that's not to say that you can't keep this thing also plugged in the back and keep it stationary at the same time and have it charging constantly, which I won't advise, but again, we'll get into that a little bit later. Bluetooth version is only Bluetooth 4.2. Now, for a near $400 speaker in the time frame that this came out, which was the end of 2019 coming into 2020, I'd expect Bluetooth 5. You can't have new hardware paired with old hardware and sell it for such a premium and expect people not to say anything. You can't do that. You can't do that, not in this day and age. If you're paying premium, you'd expect premium, right? You don't want a Bose product with Bluetooth 4.2 where you can go for like maybe a $40 cheapo speaker on Amazon that's already boasting about having Bluetooth 5. I mean, Bluetooth 5 was a thing since probably late 2017, right? So it would make sense for a speaker like this to have Bluetooth 5, but it doesn't, sadly. This speaker also comes with AirPlay 2. However, again, here it comes. That's a con. That's honestly the most biggest con about this, because this speaker is relying on AirPlay 2. It's relying on that Wi-Fi. It's relying on being a smart speaker. So for AirPlay 2 to be a problem, it's not that good. There have been some stuff on Bose forums. Maybe I'll throw it up in the screen here right now. There have been some problems in Bose forums where Bose is just telling you to just factory reset it, do this, do that, and then it'll work again. But some people aren't successful. Some people are successful. It's a pain. It's a hassle. And honestly, something to note, connect it to the right Wi-Fi. So this speaker has one main downward firing woofer right here, as well as 3 passive radiators in the top here as well. This gives some clean, crisp bass, especially at that 50 to 60% volume mark. When you have it in a room, in a corner, then the bass really starts to fill the room. You're really wondering, how can such a little speaker like this boast such a big sound? Honestly, that's my favorite part about this speaker. Possibly the most key thing about this thing is that it just sounds really good. It does have some problems though. I will give it that. It does have some problems. Raise this thing up to anywhere above 70% with like heavy bass oriented songs like dubstep, maybe some hardcore EDM hardstep, maybe something that just has too much bass for a small speaker to handle. You're going to hear the sound just degrade going from there. I noticed myself personally that playing certain music with heavy bass, if you reach a certain volume past that 50 to 60% mark, you would hear a voice start to vibrate like this instead of, sounding clean and clear, because remember, this doesn't have a tweeter in here. This is just one downward firing woofer. So all the sound is coming through that woofer with the passive radiators helping for bass response and mid-range response, which mid-range response on this speaker is pretty good. It's pretty good, but again, it does suffer at higher volumes. Now, some people might say I might be wrong. Some people might say that I need to test again. I don't have any testing equipment. I don't have this. I don't have that. Look, guys, relax. I get it. You want me to have the extra testing equipment? I get it. But to me personally, it won't make a difference because, one, the sound won't translate over this video properly, just like every other YouTuber would say when they're testing a speaker. And two, people need to test the speaker themselves. My channel is oriented more along the lines of trying to save some cash, not trying to spend the extra cash because it's, oh my God, you need to get this today. So that's my thing behind it. That's my thing behind it. You might say it sounds good, and it does sound good. Don't get me wrong. It'll sound good maybe with some country. It'll sound good with nice, smooth R&B. Songs like those don't have that much bass in them, but they have a nice, smooth, good bass line to it. Some jazz will be good. Classical stuff like that will be good on a Bose product. They've been good on Bose products for a long, long time, even pop music. But you go into hip hop, you go into the heavy 808s, you go into the heavy EDM, you listen to stuff like Afrojack, No Beef, you listen to stuff like Hardwell, you listen to stuff like some Zed, maybe some, what are these guys' names, Swedish House Mafia, stuff like that. You're listening to it, I'd say the 50 to 60% volume is much better versus raising it up more. You're going to start hearing more of the in the voice. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that, right? One thing to note, you do need the Bose Music app to initiate this speaker, to turn it on for the first time, to do a whole bunch of stuff, which, by the way, the initial setup for this speaker took me 15 minutes. Now, it depends on the Wi-Fi that you're using, which, again, it's going into the cons, which I'll go into in a bit. Please hook this up to the 5 gigahertz network if you have a dual band router. Do not hook it up to a 2.4 or 2 gigahertz network that you have. It will not move quick. Trust me. I'll get into that in a bit. So, like I said, this speaker is also a smart speaker. It has your good old friendly neighborhood Amazon you-know-who and Google Assistant. You have the choice of using either two. Siri fans, I'm sorry, you can't use Siri on this speaker whatsoever. Not that a lot of people are there that like Siri, but I do like Siri. I do. But you can't use Siri on this. So, the much awaited cons. I've been saying cons in this entire video. Well, let's get into them. AirPlay 2. It's not very well integrated. It's really not very well integrated. This is not your Sonos product. This is not the product to beat Sonos products when it comes to using AirPlay 2 at all. There is a slight delay from initial use of AirPlay, especially when playing music. There is a 1 to 2 second delay when just starting up this speaker and using AirPlay. It doesn't connect automatically. Well, I shouldn't say that. It connects automatically, but doesn't start automatically either. It just has that delay, and that really sucks. Now, once it gets going, it's all right. It works. But for the most part, at the very beginning, when you just put this on and you start playing, expect that delay. I mentioned earlier, hook this up to a 5 gigahertz network when you're first initializing everything, and don't hook it up to a 2 gigahertz network. There's a reason for that. The 2 gigahertz network, when I initially hooked up the speaker, not only increased the time of how long it was to set this up through the app, but it played music very choppy. It interfered with the Bluetooth that's on this speaker as well to give me even more choppier signal, to give me even, at some point, pauses in the music for a good 5 seconds before the song came back on and started playing again. Hook it up to the 5 gigahertz network the first time, because let me tell you, it might not be hard, but it is a very tedious task to change what Wi-Fi this thing, or what Wi-Fi network this speaker is going to be connected to. It's not something as easy as going through the app and changing it. You can't do that. You have to press, I believe it's the play and pause and volume up, hold it down for 5 seconds, do something here, do something there, then go through the app, make sure you connect to the speaker, and if you don't connect to the speaker, go through settings and blah, 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 blah. It's a nightmare. It's a long mess. It's not hard, but it is a long mess, and you don't want to do it. Hook it up to the right network first before you have to go through what I did. Next up, charging. So, well, I'll show you. Like I said, this thing charges via Type-C. Now, this is the charging brick and charging cable that came with this Bose speaker. Now, mind you, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I did buy this off of Amazon. Amazon was having that monthly deal thing, so I was able to pay this speaker off monthly in order to get it. However, I would be careful if I were you. It kind of makes me wonder if I actually got a defective unit or not, to be honest. But I got it, and to initially start the speaker up, you have to have it connected to the wall, charging, and then go through the setup process through the app. I connected it, nothing happened. Tried many sockets around my house, nothing happened. No charging, no light, no nothing. Okay, used one of my personal home Type-C chargers with charging brick. Started charging, started working great. Cool, okay, I thought it was a defective cable, because I did try my Apple iPad Pro cable, hooked it up to this, and said, okay, great, it's charging. After a day, stopped working. Found out it's the brick. The brick shorted this cable and shorted my iPad Pro cable. This brick is useless. Be careful, watch out for the brick that you have, because this cable was great, and my iPad cable is also gone. Watch out for this brick. Another thing to note, you can't charge the speaker while it's off. I don't know if that, again, I don't know if that's a defective unit that I have or what, but you cannot charge a speaker when it's off, or I can't at least. I plug it in, and it immediately turns the speaker on. I don't need it to turn the speaker on. I just want to charge it overnight, or I just want to charge it and leave it for a little bit. But no, it turns on, and if you try to turn it off, it stops taking the charge. It makes no sense to me. Absolute no sense to me whatsoever. Why would you do that, Bose? Why would you do that? Let the thing charge while it sleeps like every other Bluetooth speaker. Something to note, you need to use the speaker often. Some of you might just raise an eyebrow and wonder, well, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you don't use the speaker, at least in a 2 to 3 day time span, you're going to be left with not only turning this on after that time period, but you're going to be left with an extra 5 minutes. You heard me right. It's it took 5 minutes for this thing to realize itself because the ring just kept going around like that. I'm guessing it was searching for the Wi-Fi network or searching for something. And it took 5 minutes before it realized, okay, my last setting was Bluetooth, and this was what I was connected to last time. What? What? And that's not the first. It happened 3 times, 3 separate times that I left this speaker for a few days, turned it back on, and it did that. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? It left it for a few days again, and it did it again. Bose, you need to take this back. You need to QC this thing and really get down to what the hell is going on with the speaker, because that's just weird. Now, I said I'd get back to the design a little bit, and well, my problem with the design is, although it looks great, there's some issues. Mainly around here. The seaming issue, the gapping issue, and again, maybe this is because I bought it off of Amazon and not directly from Bose. The gapping issue here is a problem. Where it's smooth here, you see that? That's not me stopping it. That's my nail hooking on the edge of that. That's clean. That's stuck. That's clean. That's stuck there. QC this, Bose. QC this. Again, it takes 5 minutes to turn back on if you don't turn it on for 2 to 3 days, and then you don't check for stuff like this around the speaker. That's kind of concerning. That's kind of concerning that some units are probably shipping like this and people are getting it like this. That's not nice. It's not nice at all. My overall thoughts. So you might be asking yourself, Animal, from the way you describe this speaker with all the cons, you must really hate this speaker, don't you? No, absolutely not. I love this thing. If it weren't for the cons, this would be my #1 go-to Bluetooth AirPlay speaker, period. Okay? Because it's portable, it's got great battery life for what it is, for how loud it plays. And speaking of how loud, this thing gets loud and it's nice and the sound is great. Just be careful what songs you play. It's a wonderful package. But sadly, the cons weigh it down so much that I'd have to give this thing a 3.8 out of 5. And that really hurts because, again, I love the speaker. I love it very much. It's awesome. And the main thing that it's supposed to do, which is the sound that it produces, it does it very well. It does it very well. But I cannot overlook all those cons with such a price tag. Maybe if this thing was priced at $250, I can overlook it. But for a $349 price tag, no, thank you. But that's about all I got for the Bose portable home speaker. Thanks again, guys, for coming to watch the video. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. I can't believe it. It feels like just yesterday that I started the channel, and now I'm at 1,000, almost at 1,000 subs. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank you for whatever support you can give to me on this channel. I can't thank you for helping each other and trying to build this channel to an even greater set. I want people to be comfortable here. I want people to understand that you can switch thoughts and you can talk to each other, and you shouldn't have to deal with people arguing back and forth about nonsense, right? Everybody here has a mindset that they just want a nice product and they want to relax and have a good time with that product that they buy, right? Like I said, road to 1,000. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. You never know when somebody may need some more information about the Bose portable home speaker. Oh, and by the way, for subscribing, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video, which obviously hasn't been recent, but you get my point. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.